Boy, I will tell you, it was not a great. I don't want to say just like morning, because like last night went not as expected. Basically, like, I have these shoes that I really like to train in. They're Skechers. I mean, I only have one pair. And I was like, wow, these are getting really dirty. I should just have let them stay dirty, because I tried to clean them. I ran them through my washer like 3 times, and then I went and scrubbed the living shit out of them. Way too late, so the shoes don't have enough time to dry. I don't even think they'll be dry tomorrow, and it's raining out here in Washington, so I can't exactly put them outside. Well, and then on top of that, like, I forgot to like wash like a bunch of jeans, so I'm literally wearing khakis to work, which there's nothing wrong with, right? Because of the where I work, and it's not bad. So, I match it with the shirt, and I got some fucking Air Forces on that match, and as far as I'm concerned, like, we're good to go. That's ready to rock. I definitely want to get like a phone stand, and I don't want to say I want to get a camera, because I feel like the iPhone pulls up like enough quality, I guess. But I definitely want to get something where I can, like, in the gym, like maybe like a phone case with like a small stand in it, because I want to be able to record like my workouts, and it's just awkward sometimes. And I feel like these were really good workouts that I didn't record over the weekend. I decided to skip my usual gym, and I went up and drove like 20 minutes to go to something a little bit bigger with a little bit better equipment. They also had like a pool and a sauna, which was like a big plus. So I was like, awesome, I'm gonna be able to use the sauna after. Heck yeah. And there's nothing wrong with my gym, except for that it's like so small. And that's not against the owners or anything, just because like they can't do anything. Again, like my dream is to like build a gym that everybody's gonna want to go, and I want to beat out everybody within this town, because we have 2. One of them is at a college, the other one is a 24/7. I want the 24/7 to stay. I mean, I think that I feel like you're kind of disappointing people if it's not 24/7. However, I feel like if I had like a pool and a hot tub, I'd probably close that area off with like, locks, obviously. Because I was a kid, and I know how shitty kids are. So if you leave something to be destructed, it will be destructed. But yeah, anyways, like, I'm driving to work, a little nervous, just because like something happened on like Friday. Nothing like terrible, but something that just like isn't completely on me. So like I'm expecting like a write-up, even though I know they probably won't give me that. But if work life has ever taught me anything, always assume the worst thing possible. But I feel like I have a solid manager, so they'll probably fight for me on that one. Why everybody's just driving really slow today? Like, really slow. Okay. Thanks, bro. And then, of course, like, I love it when it's raining, because like all the pollen's like fucking gone, so it's easier to just kind of breathe out here. But I'll tell you what, so I tried the sauna this weekend. What I ended up doing was I ended up hitting like a good arm and back day on Saturday. Still feeling it in like the back, and then also like my deltoids, like pretty good. Like I feel like not that I pulled something, but that is just so extremely like sore. For a second, I was like worried, like, oh shit, did I like do like a minimal tear? But nothing too crazy. So sorry, I had to get my cruise control going. It's gonna be a little bit easier to focus. I definitely want to get like a stand for my car. I don't know if I already mentioned that. I think that would be pretty rad. That way I don't have to hold it, and also like the angle is not like stupid. But yeah, I mean, I'm on that weight loss journey. A little background about it is I've lost 350. Sorry, I have not lost 350 pounds. I started around 360, 370, something like that. I had to have been up there. I didn't exactly get the numbers, but I know the heaviest I've weighed myself in at was 350. but I can tell you right now, I've been heavier. So right now, after like really getting the training going and like trying to focus on like a deficit, maybe not so much the diet as much as like getting myself in the gym every day, because that's been like a hard part. You know, when it's a really long day, it's so fucking hard to get myself to be like, yeah, I definitely want to go to the gym so I can just fucking like rock my shit and feel like, you know, I'm sore. But you know, I kind of noticed like after like a really long day, like if it's a bad morning and I go to the gym, I feel immediately better throughout the day. And something about, you know, you're aligning yourself with your mind physically, and it's just kind of a nice feeling. And then also knowing that you just pushed yourself through your own hell. No matter how much you're doing, if you're in there for 5 to 10 to 15 minutes, like I feel like it still makes a difference, because at least now you've told your mind, like, I'm doing this, I'm here, dog, like, this is what I'm about. And I don't know, so I'm starting to like make it more of a habit with like the discipline of it too, because like when you go in, you still have to try, right? Like when you start out, if you're getting your butt to the gym, that's amazing, you know? That's better than most, for sure. But like when you've kind of gotten that part down where you're like, I'm going, not every day, but a majority of the day. For me, going every day mostly works. If I really need a rest day and I'm like, there's not a muscle I can train right now because I'm so fucking sore, then I'll skip that day. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I might go maybe some light cardio, something like that, or just make sure I'm a little bit more active throughout my day. And then like, not necessarily saying that I'm trying to starve myself, but like, you know, lower the calories just a bit, see if I can do that. Focus more on my protein intake, which is also something I've been starting, which I feel I've seen the effects already from it, but it's a little too early to tell. Not really, but like there was immediate like loss, but I need to stay pretty consistent with that in order to say like if it's a good one or not. But I will say this, with the heavy proteins, I'm right now I'm at 290 like 4. So I'm ranging between 292 and 294. So I'm like slowly getting this down. Part of it I want to say is like, because I'm gaining like these things in like small portions, but I can tell you like I've tracked all my food. So either I'm tracking wrong or I'm just gaining a little bit of muscle. And not to mention, like I feel like when you hit the gym really hard and you're sore, your body can't exactly keep itself up. So like compared to what you would be able to hold up yesterday, and then going to the gym and hitting like, let's just say you're gonna hit like back, your back's not gonna want to like carry you as good, especially if it's like your first time or if you're hitting very aggressively. So I feel like there's a little bit more weight added there. You're just kind of like shrugged down, you know, you're not keeping yourself up as high. You're not supporting yourself in the way you would if you were completely 100% and not sore at all, you know. So that's where I think like these 2 pounds are varying, because I'll say right now, like there's been weeks where I've taken like 2 or 3 days, you know, get myself back in, but you know, 2 or 3 days I can go and then I'll weigh myself in before I start again, and then I'm, you know, actually lighter, and then I start working out. I'm like, what the hell's going on, you know? So that's just kind of like my theory about it. Not saying it's a great one, but that's what I think is kind of happening with my body and the way it weighs, and yeah. But yeah, so then Sunday I ended up going back to the same gym with my buddy. And I'm glad to say, like, I feel like I finally found, like, a gym bro. Maybe not on weekdays, because, you know, we have very different schedules, but it's nice to have weekends off, or at least to the point where I can get up, like, I work at, like, 8, you know, so I can get up around that time, and he won't be at work yet, and that's perfect. So we're like, okay, let's go to the gym together, you know? But, like, I've never had somebody who can, like, really keep up the way I'm, like, trying to go. To be fair, like I have realistically 2 or 3 years of weightlifting under my belt at this point. Maybe it was on and off a little bit, but still, like I have the knowledge of like, muscles and how they contract, and probably like some of the better ways to get them to like really go, and like just the mind that like you're gonna need to struggle in order to see progress, whether that's with your diet or whether that's with, you know, building muscle and like finishing out your sets. It's pretty universal, I think, in life. But so Sunday, you know, we made it up there and we ended up hitting like a hella good chest day, so much to the point where like, yeah, we probably could have done a little bit more, but it was literally like we did 2 different fucking exercises, and that was it. We did chest press and we did pec flies, and I felt like that was enough, because I mean, we're going heavy, right? Like, you know, first off, I'm like starting it up. You got to get that shit activated. So I'm just kind of going light, you know, 18 to like 25 reps at like 50. And then I'm like, okay, let's go up. And so like I'm going a little heavier. He goes a little heavier. You know, you're just going till failure at that point, where you just can't get it up. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to go as heavy as I can. You know, let me get a couple assisted reps. He's like, all right, bet. You know, we keep going, and that's how it keeps going. And we probably did like 4 or 5 sets. I know that would usually be too much, especially for me if I was like doing other exercises varied into that. Like, for example, I probably could have went and got dumbbells at any time. I just don't feel like I feel them as well unless I'm doing like certain kind of exercises. So the chest press machine was probably the best bet for me, and I really didn't want to grab a bar and do it. I didn't want to get on that bench. It's not that like I don't believe in the progress from it, but I think it benefits a little bit more to really target some different exercises and make sure you're not doing the same thing over and over again. I'm somebody who kind of just goes in and like does it on the fly. I mean, I do, don't get me wrong, like I have these apps and stuff, and I just feel like they never work out. Right now I'm trying out the circuit one. I'm liking it so far, but not enough. I can't like it with the Gym Buddy, just because it's like now, because you know, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's basically like you do one set of one thing and then you go immediately to the next thing, and no breaks in between, you know, giving it that progressive overload, which is something that you want, whether it's you know, like less time in between sets, or doing something exactly like that, or lifting the weight. I mean, putting the weight up is a form of progressive overload. So anytime you're like going up and really pushing yourself, I see that as a progressive overload. And that's what you want. You want your nervous system to pretty much not be able to handle the weight. And, you know, that's a successful overload in my eyes. But yeah, so like we're hitting chest and stuff. And then we tried the sauna, man. And I gotta say, I want one so bad. I recently bought a hot tub, so it's coming here in a couple weeks. But I have one concern for the future that's kind of going on, and that's holidays and like just vacations in general. I allow myself to slip up because you're on vacation. You know, you should let yourself enjoy wherever you're going, whether that's the food, the culture, the amenities, the fucking just the views of everything. You know, you want to take that in. And for me, I'm like a big food guy, and this just happens to be New York, right? So like, I'm gonna want to go get the pizza, and I'm gonna go want, you know, whatever the fuck is down there, right? Obviously, I'm gonna try to keep myself in moderation, but if it's a new experience, I absolutely want to experience that, which wouldn't be the problem. That's not the problem, that I'm letting myself go. It's getting back on track. So that's my biggest, like, it takes me a second. And it's hard, and I think it's hard for, like, anybody to go from, okay, now I have, like, a surplus of calories probably. Maybe even maintenance. Let's say that it's maintenance. Maintenance to surplus. You're definitely not in a deficit. You know that. And you're doing that for, like, a week. And now you're like, fuck, I have to switch gears immediately. It's really hard. So, I don't know, like, I also intermittent fast just a little bit. Like, I just don't eat from the hours of, like, 8 to noon. Which I don't think is a terrible thing. I'm just not hungry first off in the morning. I'm a very busy person at work, so it's like I really don't think about my meals, and then I like make up for it throughout the day, right? So like, you know, my lunch is probably 11 to 12. Right now, I tell you, I have like 7.3 grams of chicken, 7.3 to 7.4 grams of chicken per lunch right now. That's how much I had. So I just, you know, bought a bunch of drumsticks and just shredded it up. Not fried, okay? I raw, grilled, okay? And then like 2 scoops of mixed veggies. And then like at work, I always have like, because if you have a fridge, that's goated, right? So I have a bunch of fucking Oikos Greek yogurt, which is like the shit. I fucking love Oikos, bro. That shit has been a game changer. 15 grams of protein for like 90 fucking calories is wild. I love it. It tastes good. It doesn't taste like other Greek yogurts that just don't have that like solid taste to it. Not to like complain too much about the taste, but I think it does matter. And you know, I think that's a very versatile thing to have that solid yogurt. I will literally, you know, yesterday I was going to the gym and I didn't really have time to get a full meal in. And I like to go to the gym with like some form of energy that's not caffeine. So for me, it's like really quick carbs. So I grabbed the Greek yogurt, grabbed a piece of bread, grabbed a cheese stick, and I just fucking like threw the Greek yogurt on the bread. It's a game changer because I eat that fucking Dave's Killer bread. And that shit tastes good. Like, it's good bread, solid, but it's a little dry. So like I really like putting my yogurt on it because it just kind of like softens it up. I don't know, maybe it's a texture thing. But so that Greek yogurt's solid, and then I have cheese sticks, like pretty much loaded all the light cheese pretty much like all the time, which is just a really killer food because it's like 45 calories, like 2 to like 4 grams of protein, something like that. And it gets you satiated pretty quickly. Like if I'm feeling a little peckish before lunch, I'm gonna run back there and I'm either gonna go grab a yogurt, I'm gonna go grab a cheese stick. It's probably gonna be a cheese stick. I'm not gonna lie. Cheese stick, and then maybe like if I really have it and I'm like really willing to spend it, one of the Fairlife protein drinks. They're expensive though. It's outrageous how expensive they are, but they taste amazing. And like 26 grams of protein. It's hard to beat that in a chocolate milk, man. And that's not so much of me like yes, I do feel satiated, but like I try very hard not to drink my calories unless it's in a protein drink. And even then, I try to stay away from protein drinks. But I'm on this thing right now where I'm trying to like the high protein, like maybe not low fat, but like low carb. And hold on, I gotta watch out because we're at a stop sign and nobody fucking looks. Protein drinks, right? I'm on this thing. I'm trying to get like 200 at the minimum, because there's no way I have more than 200 pounds of muscle. Probably less. But I'm trying to get up to 300 just to match like the body weight and then just a little bit more, right? Because when you're in a deficit, it's really hard to put on muscle. And I doubt that I am putting anything on, but I definitely might be like, as somebody like seeing people who cut, pretty drastically, like we're just, pop out of the blue. Like we could probably take like Bradley Martin or like Sam Sulek. Those guys are, one of them is bigger than the other, just muscle mass wise for sure, and just maybe like definition showing. But like you look at Sulek and he's at like 2,500 calories, I think, is like the last thing I heard. And that's not saying that's extreme, because that's probably not extreme for him. He weighs like 260. I'm at like 2,900. Wow, they fucking tear up this road. So it's just, you gotta figure out your maintenance. I forgot where I was going with this. But no, yeah, like I just pulled up to work, so like everything just kind of drops and you're like, shit, I'm at work, Not saying I hate my job. Definitely don't hate my job. I love it. But I don't know. You just, almost like a personality changes inside of you. Which is, sucks. I don't want to be at work. I want to be at home. Everyone wants to be at home. I want to be at the gym, I want to just get to work, but get paid for it. I wish that's never happening. But yeah, I'm trying to see what else I can say right now, just because, like I said, I really want to start getting some workout videos in, and I don't know if I want to put this on like YouTube or TikTok or maybe both or whatever. I'm definitely just trying to compile these because I've learned that constant stream of content is really hard for me to make, because we all have them days, man. It's just a thing that happens. So I just don't want to get burnt out. So in order for that, I want to like provide stuff for the future. This obviously has to be the first video. It has to be. And then the rest of them probably won't be these talks. Not until I get like a solid thing going. But I definitely think I'm going to have to start recording some workouts for sure. Because I want to, you know, I push myself pretty hard. I like to think so. It's really hard though with like bench and stuff. And then like, I don't know, like there's a big pressure where I just like don't want to pull out the cam at the gym. But I've always been like that. I've never wanted to pull a camera out at the gym or in like public. Like for example, I'm going to New York. I have this really expensive camera. I would love to take it. However, I don't want to. I just don't want to attract people like to me. And then also like the camera, I'm not good at it because I don't know. I'm like, I bought it and I was like, damn, I'm gonna go outside all the time. And then, you know, I do go outside, but I just like don't take the pictures that I should be. And that's what's tough. I don't know. That's something I want to get better at, just the confidence in myself. And I feel like the gym helps with that, to be honest with you. Like I've been able to talk to people, I think, a lot easier, knowing like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, it's because I can bench more than you, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm putting in the work, and you probably are too. So like, let's be on the respectable level, I guess. But yeah. Anyways, I gotta go to work. Maybe gym vid. I don't know.